Right, it's time to start on this guy, and I have started already. What I've done, as you can probably guess, is I've taken the marquee here. Whoa! Interestingly, this is actually a panel that slides out. Let's put this back. I've also stripped the entire content of the cab. All we have here is mostly black. It's really hard to see, but what do we have here? Let's see if I can just bring in more light, maybe. Not really. Never mind. What we have here is mostly the monitor is left here. You can see the bottom here. I've taken all the bits out, and there was quite a lot, as it turns out. So all these metal parts, they're actually just specific. This is the PCB and a few control boards here. This is the banknote acceptor, the coin acceptor, which is specific. A lot of kind of these counters and the coin thing that actually detects which coins you've thrown in. Various metal bits and cables that are specific to that. Anyway, so I don't need any of that. That marquee here is okay, but I have another one that I'm gonna keep because it's made out of glass and it's much nicer. I might make a light box out of it, but I'm gonna give this to somebody who needs this. Maybe I'll sell it and fiver, but most likely give it because that's the way it works. But I also don't quite need this glass, but I'm gonna keep it for now because I want to measure it and get a reproduction done for whatever game I'm gonna put it in here, which is most likely gonna be R-Type, I think. And also in this one I want to see if I can maybe fit the 19, I have a spare 19-inch, and I mean it should fit. It's an extra 5-inch, so I should actually be able to fit it in there, but I'm not sure, so we'll see. And then it would be great if I can, because it'll be a small cab with a really large monitor, not unlike this guy. This is a bit bigger, but it actually lends itself really well. And I enjoy playing Double Dragon in this cab. I should really dust them. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna need to move this now to a place where I can work on it. So I'm gonna move this out of this room and into the other shed. Let's do that. Alright, some time has passed since I got this cab and started working on it. I've done a few things. I've emptied it. I've taken the doors off. They're actually here. Not sure what I'll do with these. This one I might keep. This one, I don't know. I really don't like it. It takes a lot of space. And then it was actually damaged a good bit here. Somebody just forced it open. I could try and straighten and fix that, but I do have other bits. This is actually much tidier and easier, and I have the panels for that, so I might replace it. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So I started doing some work, which is filling some of the groove here that was all chipped and broken. It looked fine on a just general inspection, but you know, there's bits everywhere that need some attention here. It actually had been filled already by somebody. Yeah, everywhere I look, there's just stuff that needs some attention. Here, the base, I'm gonna have to just do something here. Maybe either cut it or remake another one. It's gonna be a pain, really, but all this, I can't really keep this. So I'll see. I might just see if I can sand it flat. I really don't like this stuff, but sand it flat and just use some Bondo type filler, epoxy filler. And yeah, this needs some attention still. I fill here. Now here I have the assembly for the chassis, monitor chassis. That's the monitor I put in my cocktail cab that I was fixing a while back. And I got one here that I got recently from a friend here in Ireland. Well, obviously, but since then I got another one as well upstairs, up there, and I think I have another chassis, and I might get a couple more yet. So it's great. I'll have scope, you know, in case one of them goes bad, and replace it straight away. I don't have to wait until I fix it. But also, if I get more empty cabs, I'll be able to convert them easily. So I think we are going to need to attend to the wood and the dust situation here. There's this top as well, which has this kind of bubbling mark. I see it's actually anchored through here. You can lift it from this side, but this section is anchored. So I might just take that off, tidy it. I'm gonna have to redo that. So here there's that first door, the bottom door, and that's where your coin stuff goes. Here or here. I don't know what to do. So the problem I have with this cab is that it doesn't actually open from the back. There's no door at the back, so all solid. So I'm gonna have to cut a door through what's there already. So there's that, and because there's no access from the back. The monitor is alright. I can actually just it goes in from the front of the cab. But not having a door at the back, especially if I close this thing, that's why you had this big door, because you could access it from the front and access everything from the front. But I really don't like the look of them, and it's this big section, which means, you know, I'm gonna have to patch that somehow. That's used for notes. You see there, there's a big hole there. It's gonna be too much metal work in general to make it fit to what I want it for. So it's easier to put one of these, or it's easier, I think it's more in theme, and then maybe get a piece of wood just to block off all that from here. I think that's gonna be the solution, and then use the other door for the coin stuff that I can just pull out the coin buckets. Not that I use them ever really, but yeah, there you go. So, well, let's do some filling, sanding, tidying. So I'm gonna do that first, and check back with you when I'm done and show you what I've done. Alright, some progress. I'm not actually showing you the process of this, because I've shown it in many other restoration videos, but I'm using, I've sanded down the control panel here before I start filling the holes. It's just to protect the metal. Ultimately there'll be an overlay, so it'll provide a base grip for that, but yeah, just to prevent it from rusting. These are the marquee fasteners on the edges of the top of the cab. Under this will go this guy, so I'm going to fill all these holes. I'll probably, I don't know, last time I used some of that wood dust and wood glue, and that took forever to dry, and it's okay. It's not, once it's dry, it's solid enough. It's probably as solid as Bondo, but it doesn't dry nearly as fast enough, so I'm just going to use filler on this one, and probably little pieces of fiberglass here just for rigidity. Yeah, once that's filled, then we can re-drill new holes for the control panel. That's that, and well, you can see the mess here with all the filler and Bondo. So I've sanded down the edges, just actually cut them as trim as I could, trim them as flush as I could, and then I'm just using rough, loose amount of Bondo filler. I keep saying Bondo every episode, but it's Isopon. There's the holes here. There's actually a lot of holes where the metal door used to be secured. So I'm just going to fill this, sand it down, and then just try and color match it with the top. I'm not sure what to do here because it's not in great condition, but I really don't fancy taking it all off. This is it's a veneer, it's a black veneer, wood effect veneer, but at the same time, because it's super solid on, it's not peeling off, so maybe I'll just sand it lightly. Because it's textured, I might just give it a very light spray of new spray of black. Hopefully the texture will still show under that, and be happy with it. That's way down the line though. For now, I'm just gonna wait for the Bondo to dry. I had it's big gouges here as well, where in the T-molding groove, so I filled these as well. Gonna wait for this to dry overnight, and then sand this down, flush. Oh yeah, and then the top plate here, I was gonna make another one, and then I realized I could actually sand it flush, and yeah, it's much better. I've used Bondo again, filler in some places. I'll resand it down, respray it, I'll put it back down here. I don't need it, but it's actually handy because it makes everything on top flat, and I might be able to have a display piece on top of it, something like that. Anyway, this was my Bondo mixing surface. So yeah, the other thing I've done is I've this edge here used to be flush around here. So where is it? Here, there you go. So I've actually trimmed this down because I'm going to put a piece of wood that comes all the way back here. And here, the door is actually secured on this edge here, so that's give me a good anchor for it. It's anchored from the sides anyway, so that's, yeah, it'll be secure enough. The reason is I want all this from this edge to over somewhere here to be just one piece. So yeah, there's no way around it. And I realized I don't think this door is going to fit here, this door, because it's probably too big. Yeah, it is way too big. So I'm gonna have to use one of those single doors, which I don't think I have any of. No, I don't think I do. Maybe in the other shed. So I'm gonna have to source one of these. Again, that's down the line. I think I'm done for today, so I might just trim these. Yeah, it's dry enough. I'm gonna trim them with just a sharp blade. It'll save me a good bit of sanding once it's fully dry and rock solid. Alright folks, you'll have to excuse the low light. It's getting dark outside, but so I've applied some paint over the. I've sanded the Bondo, the filler down, and I've redone the T groove here, or the groove for the T molding right here. I've patched as best as I could over there as well. You can see the marks. I've redone the groove. That should be wide enough as well. Just sort of a general wipe of the cab with a wet cloth, but you can see where I've patched here. It's just barely visible. You wouldn't really know it's there. I know it's there, but it's kind of hard to see even on the camera, and that camera isn't focusing well. But yeah, here, and there's one here, there was one somewhere here as well, which I don't see anymore. So that worked out quite well. I used just a matte, very light base, and then went over again with a bit glossier paint, and that matches the rest of the cab. So it actually works quite well, if I may say so myself. Here, I wasn't too worried here about just sanding everything smooth. It's more to help solidify this base, which is yeah, that's a good bit better. Actually, this side now feels all soft and loose compared to here, which is mostly filler at this stage, but at least it's tidier. It doesn't look like it's crumbling. Yeah, it feels solid. Anyway, and here I'm going to put some T-molding. So I'm not sure what to do with the T-molding. Obviously, I can't reuse the other one. If you remember the Bone Jack cab, I kept the gold T-molding because I don't know, it kind of looked cool on this one. But here, I have to decide what to put in. So I think I'm going to put in Kung Fu Master. So I'm going to try and find maybe a more colored T-molding other than just black. I have a few black ones now at this stage. It'd be cool to find one with a nicer color, something that pops a bit better and help the cab stand out. But other than that, yeah, it's cleaned up quite nice. I was actually worried that this was going to be a bit of a pain, but it didn't take too much work. The last thing I need to do is source a piece of wood for here and bring it flush to this area. and I might pre-cut a opening for a door. Although I don't have a template for a door, so I'll have to wait until I get one of those wider door. The longer ones won't work. And I think next I'm going to work on this control panel. Yeah, next job is that. Okay, so I got a piece of wood here. So I essentially measured the size of the door because it's perfect, and the control panel will come slightly overlap onto this. So there might be a little edge here, bevel, but I measured from the longest to the longest, including this bevel here, as you can see. It's very slight. I think I might get away with it. I also added 1.5 centimeter because I cut this section here. This thing used to rest right on the edge, and now I want a piece of wood to go over that so that it'll be flush with the other door here. So I just added that here, so time to cut. There you go. So the panel will come here just about like that, which is fine. And then here we actually have a slight deviation, not by much. I wonder if it's because this is a bit swollen or this has been sanded down. I actually measured from side to side, and it's fine. This piece is fine, says I. But yeah, there could be a slight deviation here. I just want to check that this will sit flush though. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely perfect. What I could do is actually just cut a groove here and have some T-molding just to go over that. But no, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, that needs to be in a bit more, but you get the idea. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this actually. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna glue this in place. And I could actually just put in brackets on the inside, just little angle brackets, just to secure it even more. But yeah, I'm gonna glue this. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so this is glued. I don't know why I'm messing with the paint here, but I have this now just well, gluing, drying, and I'm gonna leave this for a couple of days just to make sure it's nice and glued. And then I will most likely use small angle brackets on the inside just to secure it in place. Although I don't think I will need to. The other thing I will need to do at some point is obviously drill an opening for a door, because we want this to look like an arcade cab. And here, well, I put this back in place, but I might actually just widen the holes in there as well at some point. Okay, so while we're waiting for all this to dry and then I'll paint this, I'll probably have to just bondo this edge, just put some filler to smooth it out a bit, because that's not gonna do like that. It's not gonna look great. Didn't think of that actually, but yeah, that's what I wanted. So yeah, I'll just use some filler over there over here and on the other side. So next, I'm gonna work on the control panel while this is drying. Okay, so I used one of these saws to actually just cut open the back, because this was really annoying me at this stage. I've no access to the monitor and I've no access to anything. So yeah, there's a bit of damage done to the veneer, but it's nothing bad. I can patch that easily. And then here it's not too bad. It was actually as it's screwed on the sides. It took a while, but it's off now, and I am glad that it is. I finally have access. So I'm going to start putting stuff in here. My switch and power supply, I'm going to clean this first because it's quite dusty, and then be able to start putting things in. Okay, so this is quite late now, so I'm going to stop for the day, but this is the progress so far. So yeah, the back is open, which is great. I can work from there. It's much better. I still need to do an opening there, and it's actually handy that there was a door of a standard door here, because I'm going to use that over there as a template to drill a hole. Maybe use that there, and then I can put in another door when I get one for this one down the line, way down the line. But anyway, so I've got my monitor in. Interesting thing about this monitor is over there it says, well, you can't see, but it says it can take 90 to 260 volts. But there's no indication whether there was an ISO in there, and I don't think there is an isolation transformer. So I've used the one that was in this cab, because in this cab I will put a monitor I'm working on at the moment that doesn't need an isolation transformer. So it ended up just fine. So I have my the black lead there is my mains in, goes to just distribution there. I've just a small 3.25 fuse. The mains goes into the 240 voltage into the isolation transformer, and out of there as a 125 into the monitor. So that works fine. And here I have my my switching power supply. It's going to be funny to access the thing, but actually it's on. This is on a piece of wood that I can lift, so I can just put this on this edge and work on it for now. So tomorrow I'll just connect up the JAMA harness, and we might be able to just test everything, calibrate the monitor, and then we can move on to doing the rest of the panel, putting the joystick here, a couple of buttons. I'm working on the artwork. I'll show you that afterwards, but I'm working on the artwork as well for to adapt Kung Fu Master to something in that size. Yeah, it's slowly taking shape, guys. Pretty happy about it. Just putting a few layers of paint here, sand it back down because it's particle board and there's some texture in it, so I'm just trying to get rid of not all of it but some of it, and we'll be fine. Most of that area will be taken by the door anyway. Actually, I've put the control panel back on top, and I sort of realized that this video has kind of been going on for long enough this time around, so I think we will close it here. There's been some cool progress done. At least the wood now is nice and well, a lot better anyway. So next I will drill a hole here for the coin door, work on the control panel, and start connecting the JAMA harness. Folks, thank you for watching, and next episode will be coming right after this, really. Don't forget, you can find me on Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and Twitter, and all this sort of stuff. This is a Discord server. Folks, thank you for watching, and see you next time.